All right, so this video is for IT 380 Educational Software Design. This is the first time we're going to kind of dive deep into the bubble sort trainer code. And I'm going to use the entire project to just introduce all the concepts of Unity, and especially with C# coding. And you can follow along with me. Here we are this week. So we're entering the third week of Sprint 2, which is about the UX design. Here I'm doing a lecture on the bubble sort coding and Unity in general. I actually did a Unity package. So this was my previous project in 2018. There's a lot of stuff here dealing with VR and the first level binary math. It's like kept this all out. But if you're interested in any of this, it's up on GitHub on my account. You can find it. But I was able to export out just the parts I needed to bring it into our own project that we're working on as a group. And that is what this is, Bubble Sort WebGL Unity package. So you can download this. It's like a zip file, but just for Unity. There's a bunch of assets in there that'll be imported to your project, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And if you're brand new, here's Unity Learn. So they've got so much stuff, just anything about Unity. You can't go wrong. Just find really beginner stuff and just get going learning about the Unity ecosystem, and the developer environment and Visual Studio and just everything about game programming and design. There's just anything here that you need. So if you just need to just start digging in, just do it. And I have 2 chapters for this week as well. So this kind of wraps up. Or 2 weeks ago, we had these 2 chapters on understanding, conceptualizing interaction, and how to focus on just the ideas of interfaces and interactions. This kind of wraps up. So the process of interaction design, identifying needs, establishing requirements. These are all just good. I know it's a huge area, and these chapters really spoke to just giving you some type of basics of interaction design for this class. So anyway, I'm creating this video right now, and I'm not sure. Let me just go through it and see how much I hit upon Unity. I might have to do like just a video on design after last week, where we focused on learning objectives. But let me think about it. So last week I asked you to create up to 20 learning objectives. Each learning objective is about a sentence about one small, simple idea, and each idea is supposed to build on each other, called scaffolding, into larger ideas about whatever your topic is. And you might not use all 20 in your level, but this is better to have a good assortment to pick from as you start to figure out what your level 1 will be. So actually, speaking about level 1, and was the title scene? Yeah. So remember, I did this intro part of the tutorial of the prototype for Sprint 1, and we still have to complete the tutorial in level 1. And so my Unity package I gave you, for those who are following with me, actually the tutorial and the level 1 are together. And I'll show you like how I made the whole thing, and I'll show you how I'll set it up for that the tutorial can be played and that the level 1 can be played. So for those of you who are doing your own projects, for Sprint 2, I'm thinking I'm going to be a little not lenient or ambiguous, but this endpoint deliverable, you can deliver level 1 or the tutorial, and we're going to keep working on it. We have this Sprint 3, which is just going to be focused completely on polishing and building out your prototype. So you got week 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this still goes after this. So on this deliverable here, I'd be if you're making your own project all by yourself and not following my bubble sort trainer, of course I'm going to be a lot more lenient with you. And even if you just get like the bigger strokes of level 1 done, but you didn't polish, it's okay. Just get some major chunk of the prototype done. And so this should be all done. And so a big chunk of this or a big chunk of that, either one, I'll be very happy, because then we just have 4 weeks to just finish up the whole prototype. So it's just kind of like 4 weeks of just straight coding at that point. So remember, I'll work with you if you're working your own project, because I know that you're off on your own. All right, great. So for those of you who are completely brand new, I think I went through how to install Unity and the basics of it. Sprint 1 feels like eons ago for me. But I'm going to just assume that, I went through just the basics. All right. So once you have downloaded the Bubblesort WebGL, like just open up your project, and you can be on anywhere opened up, just as long as you're inside your project. All you do is you drag this Unity package, and you'll get a secondary window like this. All right. So I already brought everything in, so there's nothing to import. But let me just like delete a material. And it should ask me, then it should give me the full dialog. Yep. So you can either drag it in, let me cancel that, or if you do have the project open, you could just double click and you'll get the same window. But for you, all this stuff will be checked on. I already brought it in. Notice that the only thing that's new, because I just deleted it, is this one material, and it's checked on. So it's open. I'll shrink it down. Just so that you can see the major folders that are going to be created and stuff's going to be brought in. So you're going to have a bunch of materials, not that many, but stuff about the hand, the tray, the table, the container, some of the icons, which I don't think I used. Maybe I used these two, but they're just little Photoshop files, and the blue collectible material, those little spheres that bounce up and down. Models is just that hand that I found online for free. An FBX file is a 3D model. 3 prefabs. I'll get into what prefabs are. But the button that you push, the containers that come up, the big cylinders, and little spheres that are in each container. And the scene, this is just the low fidelity, the Bubblesort. Low fidelity means the graphics are low fidelity, and is the WebGL build. And I don't know if this was new or not. I brought it over, but this is like lighting information. So in 3D scenes, you have to kind of bake out the lighting, and it's beyond the point of this class. And a bunch of scripts. So this is the random movement that goes on the spheres up and down. I'm borrowing it from a previous level. These are all new scripts. So the script that controls the level, the state, I think I have to look at this. I think there's a bunch of enumerations. The actual table, the tray, the button you're pushing. Something that's managing all these containers that's spawning and moving them. This listener class I'll get into. The mouse click. So when you're clicking around, we figure out where your mouse is and put that hand model there. I don't think we're using this anymore. And the UI controls just all that, the buttons and all the text stuff, and then the controller for the camera. So all this stuff will be covered in the class. I'm just going to import in this one material. This is what the process looks like. But hopefully, if everything is fine, you have a bunch of folders in your assets that look like this. And then if you click on scenes, and these scenes are from the previous work we were doing. But if you double click here, hopefully it should look like this. And if you click play, stuff should move, text should come up. Here's a tutorial running. And if I click on the console, yes, we have some warnings and a bunch of messages that are happening. And messages are good. Warnings, although they're not great, they won't stop. They won't crash your game. They won't stop you from playing. It's the errors, which I don't have any. No red errors, no stop signs. So that's good. That's you're gonna have to be very careful. Always want to look at your console, see what's coming out. I have a lot of messages, so I know what part of the experience I'm in. So anyway, I can move the hand, I can push the button, move the hand around. Everything looks great. The text is coming through. It's like the tutorial's working. Yes, some warnings and some messages, but nothing, no errors, no crashes. So everything came over good. And it works. And so I need you to get to this point. So even if you're following along with me, you absolutely have to do it. But even if you're not following along with me, I would recommend you can still bring the stuff into your project and make use of it all as much as you need to. If any of these scripts are useful, use them. Any of these models, materials, because this is the same. You have same access to the same content as the people who are following me. So make use of this. You can rip it up, you can reuse it, do whatever you want. And that's all fair game in the world of coding. And in the next video, I'll get deeper in the project.